So you're a part of the 1%. Great, right? Wrong. See, you have so much money coming in that you're gonna have to pay way too much to the taxman. So you need a way to avoid taxes to show on paper that you're making a lot less money because you'd rather not fund more stuff like this, or maybe even this. You have a right to keep more of the money you rightfully earned. One of the ways to do that is by starting a charitable foundation. Now you may be wondering, but Jake, how does that make any sense? If I put money in a charity, then that money has to go towards charity and not my own personal gain. Calm down. I will walk you through everything. See, it doesn't matter who owns your money on paper, because the only thing that really matters is who has ultimate control of your money. So whether your money is under your name or under your charity's name is irrelevant, as long as you get to control where those funds go. It may not be you spending it, but it's still you spending it, if you know what I mean. And with charities, there are many avenues, many ways to go about doing this where you still get to enjoy all the fruits of your labor way more than letting it go to the taxman. All legally, mind you. Not legal or financial or tax advice. Consult with an attorney, financial planner, and CPA. And on top of that, you get the benefit of looking like a saint, like a Robin Hood, raising money from the rich and giving to the poor, while keeping the plebs at bay so they don't pillage you. A sentiment that keeps on brewing.
Feed the rich! Feed the rich! Feed the rich!
So if you want in on the secretive world, I'm gonna show you step by step how to legally reclaim your money from greedy Uncle Sam by starting a charity. Giving to charity is still incredibly important. Selfishly, studies have shown that giving to charity neurologically makes you feel better. And altruistically, there are legitimate people out there that need your help and legitimate charities out there that really do care and do an effective job. So if you have a little money to spare, you should give. It's something that I do every month. And one of those legit organizations is Omaze, today's video sponsor. Omaze gives away one-of-a-kind prizes and experiences while donating money to charities all across the world. Their approach to fundraising means that nonprofits can spend less time raising money and more time doing what they do best, making an actual difference to their causes. Like this Tesla Model S Plaid Edition that you can enter for a chance to win right now. If you haven't seen reviews for the Plaid already, it is the fastest production car in the world right now, at 0 to 60 in just 1.99 seconds with more than 1,000 horsepower, and it starts at $130,000. Donate $10 or more and you're entered for a chance to win it. And yes, taxes and shipping are covered for US winners, while at the same time you get to support Reverb, a great cause that has already eliminated over 3 million single-use plastic bottles, along with a ton of other accomplishments. And for full transparency, here's how the numbers break down as listed on their website. For prizes like a car, vacation, or cash, 15% of your donation is guaranteed to go to the nonprofit, and around 65 to 75% is used to pay for expenses like the actual prize, marketing like this video, etc., leaving Omaze with a 10 to 20% profit margin. Now, 15% going to a nonprofit may not sound like much, but 15% of $1 million is a lot more than 90% of $10,000 that a nonprofit may raise on their own, because they're usually not experts at marketing. So to potentially win this Tesla Model S and support a great cause, go to amaze.com/JakeTran with the link below. In 2014, the CEO of GoPro, Woodman, had just taken the company public and was all of a sudden worth $3 billion. So he announced one of the biggest acts of generosity in billionaire history. He was giving away $500 million of GoPro stock to charity. Every news channel praised him as what they called one of America's most generous donors, and put him up there with people like Bill Gates and Michael Bloomberg. But years later, there's still no record of the Woodman Foundation or that $500 million. The foundation doesn't even have a website, it doesn't have any areas of focus listed, and there's no trace of any grants made to nonprofits. Public records turned up just one beneficiary, a benefit event for an elementary school in California. So where did the money go? And who actually benefited from the money he donated? He did, obviously. Woodman made his donation public right after GoPro went public. See, if he didn't donate, he would have owed taxes on that $500 million worth of stock. But by donating, Woodman avoided paying taxes on that $500 million worth of stock and claimed a charitable tax deduction that would reduce his taxes for years to come. And the charities he was supposedly going to donate to? We don't know, because the Woodman Foundation actually exists as an account within the Silicon Valley Community Foundation, which isn't required to disclose how, if at all, he spent his charitable dollars. He was gonna have to pay tens of millions of dollars in taxes anyways, so simply by giving away while still maintaining discrete control over $500 million worth of stock, he saved himself on that giant tax bill. While at the same time, he got national recognition in the press for his generosity, and now he's free to spend the money as he pleases. He can donate to charities that maybe he controls, that maybe his friends or family control. All speculation, of course, because it's all private. And if you want to do the same, it all starts with step number 1, starting your own charity. The type of charitable vehicle our friend Woodman uses is called a DAF. DAFs, or donor advised funds, are basically a charitable savings account used by the rich and powerful, like Mark Zuckerberg, Paul Allen, the founders of WhatsApp, to control where their money goes and when. Let's say you receive a giant payout this year, which comes with an equally giant tax bill. So you put $10 million in a DAF today. When you most need the tax advantage, you write off that $10 million immediately, while not actually having to donate that money to charities until 5 years from now, 10 years from now, or maybe even indefinitely. And how do you donate that money? Well, maybe your kid is desperately trying to get into a university. So out of the goodness of your heart with no strings attached, you make a generous donation to that university. For the good of the students, of course. Maybe you need a favor from an influential person that runs a nonprofit, so you sign a giant check to them. Again, no strings attached. Many possibilities to play around with. Another great thing about DAFs, you can give that money to whatever charity you like without them needing to report who they got it from. So DAFs are basically a charity savings account that is a very powerful tool to influence the world to work in your favor while maintaining complete anonymity and saving you taxes. The other great option is starting a family or private foundation. Outside of being able to control what your foundation spends your donations on, donations to private or family foundations let you deduct whatever you donate, and you can donate not just cash, but assets like shares, real estate, cars, houses, yachts, and not pay capital gains tax on all those assets, which allows you to grow your donations in an almost tax-free environment for you and your kids to use for almost however you please. Plus, with all that money you're donating, you can employ your own family members or friends, pay them very generous salaries, and finance charitable yet fun expenses like parties, galas, art exhibits, or whatever floats your yachts. Things that you would have already spent money on. You could even make loans to businesses, get repaid in interest, and use that money to continue living it up with your friends. If you decide that the DAF savings account thing is for you, it's as simple as opening up an account and putting money into it. But if you want to go all out and open up a family or private foundation, then the fun is just getting started. First, you gotta develop your mission and vision. Make it really believable and a real tearjerker. Go for world peace or an end to world hunger. Really tug at the heartstrings. Choose a name preferably without your name in it. Pretentiousness is not really the look you're going for here, although for myself, I would probably still go with the Trend Foundation, of course. Register your foundation, learn from Nicholas Woodman's mistake and actually launch a website, add some compassionate photos, buzzwords like inclusiveness, establish an advisory board, and fill it with your friends and family members. You know, the people you already collab with. And now that your charity is set up, it's time to fund it. Step 2. Donate to your own charity. Like we talked about this entire video, donating to your own charity is a great way to put money to work that would have otherwise gone to the tax man anyways. Now, donating to your own charity sounds kinda weird, but it's entirely legal, because technically, charitable foundations have no owners. And as long as your funds are used for charitable purposes, which we'll go over later, wink wink, you're in the clear. You get that tax deduction and you can even give up to 60% of your income away without having to pay taxes on it. So you move your money from your income pocket to your charity pocket. Once you've funded your charity with your own money, why stop there? Why not get other donors involved so you have even more charitable dollars to play around with? Donors are the lifeblood of your charity. There are really two types of donors you'll deal with. Number 1 are actual random people you attract through your marketing to get them to donate. Real people that you convince through your fundraising events, storytelling, sad pictures, and videos that your cause is not only worth supporting, but that your organization is the best at supporting that cause. The second type of donors you'll deal with are your friends, family, and the people you do business with. People that you can offer some sort of benefit to them in exchange for donating to your foundation, whether that be favors, partying together at charitable events you host, etc. But at some point in this process, you're gonna need help running your foundation. It's really hard work after all, so it's time to bring on some help. Step number 4, hire your friends and family and pay them a hefty salary. Private or family foundations let you hire friends and family as staff as long as they have the skills to do the job and are paid a reasonable salary. But reasonable is such a broad term, and having the right skills is also such a broad term. See, you as a rich person were probably already gonna give money to your parents, your siblings, your in-laws anyways. Giving back to your family was probably one of the main motivations for you to get rich in the first place. So, if you're gonna give money away to these people, why not kill two birds with one stone and make the money you give them tax deductible, or have it not come out of your pocket at all in the case of having other donors? And plus, the people you hire receive some nice experience to put on their resume as well. This is the kind of out-of-the-box thinking you need to have in this world. And this is also, again, not legal or tax advice or any advice for that matter. Don't do anything I say in this video. And if your friends become foundation managers, they not only get a fat paycheck, they can also join you in all the luxury trips, parties, and events you host for the charity's benefit at the charity's expense. So now that you've taken care of your friends, you staffed and developed your charity, now it is time to reap the benefits. Step number 5, spend your charitable dollars lavishly. For the cause, of course. Last year, the Black Lives Matter Foundation received more than $90 million in donations. And conveniently, just this year, one of the founders of BLM, Patrice Khan-Cullors, bought a $1.4 million house in LA. Now, there may not be proof that donations to the charity were used to buy the LA mansion, but BLM finances go through a complicated network of for-profit and non-profit causes that make it difficult to say with certainty where that money came from. And even if it didn't, her position in the charity got her a deal with Warner Brothers, and enough money to buy another 3 houses, all while serving as the leader of the foundation. And she's not alone. Donald Trump famously bought 2 portraits of himself and a signed Denver Broncos helmet at a charity auction, using money from his foundation. He also donated more than $250,000 to the Central Park Conservancy simply because he wanted a fountain outside his Plaza Hotel fixed. And in one of the most blatant cases of self-dealing ever, he donated a full $7 to the Boy Scouts the same year his son Donald Trump Jr., 11 at the time, wanted to join. Coincidentally, $7 was the joining fee. He basically used his charity as a checkbook for things he wanted and got away with it for years. Where he faltered was that he attracted too much attention. When people finally caught on and shut the charity down, he only had to pay the remaining $2.8 million of funds to charities, a fraction of what he donated and spent over the years. The good news is that you can do the same thing. And you don't have to think small. Whether you donate to political organizations that lobby for your interests, plaster your name on every university in a 100-mile radius for branding or legacy purposes, conveniently receive favors after writing a giant check to someone, or decide to donate to legit charities you support because at least they're not as wasteful as the government, your choices are endless. And boom, you got to make good use of your money that would've went to the taxman, albeit after jumping through a few hoops, while looking like a saint and keeping the plebs at bay. But as you can see, having a charitable foundation or a DAF can be so much more, and come with so many other benefits that you can use in your favor. And if you're lucky, you'll be avoiding taxes long after you die, since all the money you bury in your foundation can bypass the death tax. That means all that money will be sitting there for your children to use in the same manner as you did. And before we end this video, I would like to take a moment and make a big announcement. The Tran Foundation is now an officially registered 501c chair. I'm kidding, maybe in the future. But in reality, there are good charities out there making a real difference and helping people. I have a few that I donate to every month, and I plan on setting aside more of my monthly revenue to donations, and not just for the tax benefits. For all the hate Rockefeller gets as a greedy robber baron, he made it a point to give to charity, especially when he had nothing. Rockefeller got his first job at age 16 as a bookkeeper at a brokerage for fresh produce, and right away he started setting aside 6% of his salary to charity, which was a mere 50 cents per day or around $16 a day in 2021 money. Now that may not be that much, but can you say the same for yourself? Especially your 16-year-old self? I know I can't. And he would go on to be one of the most generous men in history, and the richest man of the modern era. As Rockefeller shows, it's 100% possible to both make a ton of money and be a lot more generous than the average man at the same time. As Rockefeller said, "I think it is a man's duty to make all the money he can, keep all he can, and give away all he can." I wasn't corrupt, unfair, or greedy. I was smart when it came to making decisions for my company, and I wasn't greedy. I gave to others in charity and donated money to fund programs, and I have nothing else to say. So are you gonna start a charity? Let me know what you would call your charity in the comments below. And if you like this video, we've been slowly building up a whole series, it seems, on how to avoid taxes in the most sexy, interesting ways. We have one on using fine art, we have another one on tax havens, shell companies, all that good stuff, although that one is a little bit outdated with the tactics, and I will link to both in the description below. And if you're still watching this video and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Because we make video essays just like this one every single week on the most provocative stuff in the world of business, just like this video. So if you like this one, you will definitely like the other ones, and you can always dislike, unsubscribe, and leave me your best hate comments in the comments below, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. For some reason, our Instagram is way smaller than this channel. It's at like 14,000 followers, so let's try to get it up to like 50k or 100k, I don't know. But I do more behind the scenes stuff, day in the life kind of stuff over there, so if you're interested in that stuff, you can join me at jaketrend.io. Don't forget that you can donate and be entered for a chance to win a Tesla Model S Plaid thanks to our sponsor Omaze. And if you do win it, I would be very jealous, so take me for a ride or something. That would be linked below. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Thank you so much for watching. You've been awesome. I've been Jake. Stay dangerous out there, and I will see you guys in the next one.